Okay. Let's drop this down here. Actually. Okay. Welcome to the Wrestling Pod. I'm your host, Carlito Santiago, and today we have got, of course, for you, the SmackDown summary. But before we jump right into it, could you please do me a favor? Hit that subscribe button, drop a like, comment down below, and turn on those post notifications so you never miss a stream. John Cena's farewell. Let's start that again. John Cena's farewell tour will culminate with a match against the winner of the tournament that will take place across the WWE brands. Friday Night SmackDown had 2 matches for this tournament. So, let's start off with the opening segment. SmackDown, actually, let me pull this up real quick because I know we're talking about Survivor Series, of course. Notepad. So, get this up. Like right there, maybe. Okay. SmackDown opened with a recap of Alexa Bliss and Charlotte Flair losing their tag team titles last week, but Rhea Ripley and Io Sky came out together to kick things off in the ring. They were soon joined by their War Game teammates Flair and Bliss. Flair said she trusted Bliss, but she does not trust Rhea Ripley and does not want to be on the same team with her. The Queen left as Bliss, Ripley, and Sky looked confused. That is how the segment ended, so we will have to wait to find out if someone replaces her, which they won't. I think Flair will definitely want to team up. You know, the enemy of my enemy is my friend. But Flair does not want to be with Ripley because of their shit. So, this was kind of the segment that could have accomplished the same thing in a quick backstage moment. It didn't do anything to make us look forward to the match. But it did leave us with questions. And, of course, needing another partner. Now, I can officially add... change up a couple things here. Ooh. Okay. So, there wasn't really anything here. Rhea Ripley was wearing the protective mask again. How is she the only person who makes that stupid mask look decent? I don't know, maybe because it's black? Whoa, pause. No, I didn't mean it like that. We're moving on to the next segment here. Now, I think because Rhea Ripley might still be injured. I don't know if it's the nose or she's wearing a protective mask because of the face. I don't know what the hell it is. This is a really good shot here of this. But, again, the first tournament match to find John Cena's final opponent saw The Miz take on Jey Uso. As Uso was hyping up for an encore of his song, The Miz music interrupted with awesome. The match started off slow but picked up steam before it cut to a break. We returned to see the A-lister in control. He scored a 2 count with a nice DDT, but Uso began to make a comeback once he recovered. The Miz hit his finisher but couldn't get the pin. Once main event Jey got his footing right, he was able to score the win to advance to the tournament. This was a solid match, but nothing to write home about. Both guys looked good, but there was a lack of urgency in this one. True that, B-. A lot of people didn't look forward to having this match go ahead. When they thought this match, they saw it to be kind of a squash, like Uso beating The Miz, you know. But, of course, it's a good contest. It's something to go check out, something to look forward to. Look forward if you have not watched SmackDown. So, I'd go watch it. The Miz should have had a match with Cena during his run. He has more history with Cena than most people. It's hilarious that The Miz is still using the kicks he took from Bryan Danielson. True. Moving on, we got another U.S. Open challenge. As, of course, Ilya Dragunov defended the title against the other half of Fraxium, Axiom, in a nice, cool match. During a backstage segment, Cody Rhodes ended up agreeing to defend the WWE title against Bronson Reed later. The next match saw Ilya Dragunov defend his United States Championship against Axiom in another open challenge, much to the chagrin of DIY. From the moment the bell rang, this was a fast-paced, entertaining match. Axiom is one of the best high flyers in the WWE, and Dragunov has proved he is one of the most versatile. So it took them no time at all to find their groove. We kept saying that Dragunov has been the most consistent wrestler on SmackDown, and that has proven again this week. He and Axiom stole the show again. The champion was able to retain the title after a tough fight against a game-changing opponent. Of course, Ciampa called Dragunov a Muppet during a backstage segment. We can't stop thinking about that. Okay. Dragunov has so much more power than most guys his size. He is deceptively strong and uses it wisely. True that. Ilya Dragunov is strong. You guys did fucking... If you guys don't remember his fight with Gunther back at TakeOver 36, oh my god, go rewatch that on fucking Peacock, dude. It's fucking amazing. A-Mine is great, and I think this United States Championship is great. Sami Zayn came out to the ring to address Solo Sikoa in a promo. It didn't take long for Solo and the MFTs to come out and respond. Sikoa said he would wait until Zayn is medically cleared before coming for him. Zayn revealed that he has been cleared and dared him to take a shot. The Motor City Machine Guns, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Rey Fenix showed up to take out the MFTs while Zayn fought Solo in the ring. That babyfaces made the heels retreat. It looks like we might get a big match set up forming, and it did. Nick Aldis would make it official to Sikoa that on SmackDown in 2 weeks before Survivor Series, we're going to get a traditional 5-on-5 Survivor Series match. Sami Zayn, the Motor City Machine Gun, Shinsuke Nakamura, and Rey Fenix versus Solo and the MFTs. So, again, predictable, yes, and it had a couple of fun moments. B-. Can't wait for that. LA Knight took on a mystery opponent, and, well, what do I got to say? Woo, woo, woo! You know it! Yes! LA Knight took on, of course, the mystery man. Ended up being Matt Cardona, who, of course, the announcers were calling him Zack Ryder, despite his recent appearance in NXT as himself. These guys used similar styles in the ring, so they were able to develop chemistry quickly, so they could make this competitive fight. Knight and Ryder seemed to be on equal footing. Neither man could get the upper hand for too long before their opponents would make a comeback. It made the outcome a little harder to predict, which is always a good thing. Ryder put up a good fight, but he was unable to kick out of the BFT. Of course, LA Knight scored the win and advanced to the next round. So, Matt Cardona came out to the remixed version of his old Zack Ryder theme. Of course, woo, woo, woo. You know it. Yeah. The fact that WWE had remixed his theme already, he had Ryder specific gear, so it was great. It might have indicated that he is on his way back to the company to join his wife. Probably. But it's also breaking news reports that, of course, that this was a one-time deal, and just like AJ Lee. This is just a one-time thing. Cool. We got a little boring match here, of course. Our women's champion not doing much. Jade Cargill fighting B-Fab in a quick little squash match. So, really, there's nothing to talk about here. So, we can move on from that. We can get to our WWE Championship match. Cody Rhodes versus Bronson Reed. The match that actually should have happened, in my opinion, should have happened. Or no, it should have been Punk and Reed. Yeah, Punk and Reed. At Saturday Night Main Event. Punk and Reed should have been the... Whatever. This week's main event is brought to you by Prime, or, well, Angry Orchard, as you'd say, because they had a Angry Orchard in the ring. The WWE title bout between Rhodes and Reed that was booked earlier in the show was crested at Rhodes. So the American Nightmare immediately found himself being overpowered by the Auxilla. Unfortunately, the match didn't have a definitive conclusion because Logan Paul interfered and attacked Rhodes, drawing a DQ. Whoopee! The Usos both came out and tried their best, tried to even the odds, but Drew McIntyre showed up, despite being suspended, and went after the Usos. A little bit of a match we got was good, but it ended too soon, and it is a dirty way, which has become a little too commonplace in WWE these days. Also, the way Reed moves around is so impressive for a guy his size. He was actually slimmed down a bit too. The difference between a few months ago and now is very evident. So, I want to pull this up now because it looks like McIntyre will be joining the group, and I actually put that as the bet, McIntyre probably being. But I also said Aleister Black. So we know Punk, Jay, Rhodes, Jimmy, Logan Paul, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, and McIntyre, who will be the fifth member for each team. Most likely Roman Reigns, and what could actually possibly be Aleister Black or Brock Lesnar. which would be insane. Insane for everybody involved. Flair, Bliss, Io, Ripley, Bayley, or Bianca, either or. Asuka, Zayn, Zack, Jax, Lash, and Julia. Julia's kind of floating around, that's my guess. But right now, we're still kind of building up. I'm still going to leave Flair in there because, again, Flair's going to try to come back and be with Ripley. So, again, we're looking at these Survivor Series War Games to be the case. So, it's looking a pretty build up. But I'm thinking Black might be here, and it might be Reigns, or it could be Knight. Who knows? Knight's probably in the night. It's probably not Knight simply because of the tournament. Anyway, what was our final grade? Well, SmackDown had a bit of a mixed bag. Had a couple of good matches and some storytelling development, but also a couple of bouts fell short, and the main event was a lackluster ending. So, womp womp. We all knew Reed wasn't going to win the title during a random match set up the same night, so that doesn't mean WWE has to book an interference finish. The best thing we got in the entire show was Axiom and Dragunov, which shouldn't surprise anyone who has been watching the Mad Russians run as the U.S. champion. The War Game matches begin to set up and shape up, so of course we will find out who the final members of both teams are next week. Hopefully we should find out who they are. Could be Lesnar, could be Black, could be the return of Austin Theory, could be Roman Reigns, could be anybody to join up with them. We do know what we're getting here because, again, I showed you the list of the Survivor Series, and I will pull up the list of who is in the Survivor Series so then I know what we could be looking forward to. But as far as I'm concerned, I think it is fair to say that we are looking down the barrel of a pretty good Survivor Series War Games, honestly. What did you guys think of SmackDown? Let me know in the comments down below. I thought this was lackluster too. I thought this was just a throwaway show, honestly. And the news breaking, I think what made the show feel a little bit more lack was urgency. Obviously, having Matt Cardona come back, honestly, let's turn that B- into a B+. So let's give it a C+ grading. Let's give it a C+ grading for the final show. So change that to a C+. Also with the news breaking that WWE is thinking about switching to 3 hours for SmackDown by the start of next year. How do I feel about that? I do not like that. I think we are good with the 2 hours we got. And especially with the time zone changing. If you wanted to do 3 hours when we're in daylight savings time, you know, by all means do it. But for right now, 2 hours feels pretty good. To compact something into 3 hours during this fucking, daylight savings time, it's really, meh. I think you should correlate with the daylight savings time, when it's ended, be strategic with how you place your hours. I think what WWE really wants is they want SmackDown to be 2.5 hours like Raw, because that is a good number to go with, 2.5 hours. It's a pretty good way for them to, get 30 minutes for the last main event and fill up everything with 2 matches, right? Like, they have a thing for Raw, like 2 hours and 30 minutes. It's always been their, it's what they want. It's the time that they're going to get. They're going to get whatever time they want. And SmackDown, unfortunately, because they're on the USA for the next, 5 years, I think, or the next 4 years, they have to work with whatever they get. They can't get 2.5 hours. It sucks. So they're trying to work, I think they're trying to work that 2.5, with 2 to 3 hours. Okay, well, if you're not going to do 2 hours, you're going to get 3 hours. If you don't want 3 hours, you're going to go back to 2 hours. They want the 2.5. They want the 2.5, and they're not getting the 2.5. So they're just trying different ways, trying different things. I will see you guys on Tuesday, and you guys will get to see Lewis on Monday, hopefully, for the Sunday Night Football, what went down, of course. And yeah, we're about 2 weeks away. Let me check. About 2 weeks away from Survivor Series. So yeah, I will see you guys next week. Peace.